and then G4, not what you want to do, and give that F pawn potential to call itself passed, but at least you can protect your knight and not have to worry about it actually being trapped in the. I mean, it's not what I really want to do, but I'm just saying you're not going to lose any material.
Exactly. A G5, G4, just to cement the knight looks really good to me. And again, this pawn on E3, I mean, it just looks like, man, that is one of the best pawns to target you'll ever get. I mean, this bishop on C1 is not doing great. By the way, Garri, a man who loves his bishops, like so many world champions before him. You said bark. I mean, I'm with you there. I thought bishop c3 had bark and bite. Bishop g7, just saying, okay, I'm with Jennifer. I've got good pieces. All my pieces are good, including my dark square bishop. Bishop g7.
Yeah, I like it in a way because also he does have the time edge, and he can always play bishop c3 later. Like, is white gonna actually play knight e2 here? Maybe, but then if you play knight e2, one of the problems is e3 becomes weaker because it's harder to defend it because you've got your knight in the way of a move like rook e1.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's what Garri is saying. Like, just put the pressure, because obviously when you're playing against somebody in time pressure, you know, if you play bishop c3, they got their move ready.
Of course.
Yeah.
Which begs the question, because this pawn on e3 is so desperately weak, do we have time to play the move e3, e4 and get rid of our weakness? I mean, again, there's a lot of tricks based on the idea that, okay, now you could take the knight and take the pawn and maybe end up with a knight f2 trick just to put it on the board. You've got some position where I'm just trying to show you how the tables could easily turn. You don't have bishop d5 check, but the knight forks the rook and the bishop, and this is probably something that white would prefer to avoid. So maybe you have to take first, and we get some position like this.
White does have the two bishops, but Black's knight is still a question mark, and it seems as though we have seen the line G5, as we mentioned earlier. G5 has been played in the game after rook to E1. He played G5 and bishop G2. That knight on H3 has got their attention. Both of the players are thinking about that knight. By the way, you could look at some boards, not just a single board. As you see here, this game is very rich. But if you go to Dominguez versus Nakamura, for example, Garri ended up playing the move bishop takes D4 earlier, and that removed the E3 weakness. And that, remember, we had a chance to play bishop takes c3 and wreck the pawn structure.
Exactly.
Here he played bishop d4 and of helped the pawn structure. Of this, talk about assisting the needy. This is a move that white was like, not only did you straighten out his pawn structure, you also open up the e file for the rook, giving him the e5 square. This is fantastic position. But we do have a result, and it is Wesley So who has won that position you guys love so much.
Big time turnaround. What the heck? I mean, we're seeing a lot of turnarounds in these games, guys.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on it. Firouzja only has 13 seconds left. Maybe you want to hop to the current position, Yaz, because he's got like 10 seconds left. And you'll see that
this is the current position.
Rook h4, right? So now g2 would allow rook takes h3 check, but Garri didn't do that. He just played knight to f2, and how are you going to stop the g pawn? You can't stop it.
I've got to go down, and then after something
it's not that easy. It's not.
And then I play king f3.
King f3 gets checked.
Oh, on f7.
Yes.
But now I have, if rook g7, I have knight g4.
Oh no, you have king. You have king e2. Oh no, this is bad.
In the game, I'm going to make a queen.
This is it.
King
Kasparov has done it.
Garri.
He has given the youngster a lesson and showing that, hey, I might be 40 years older, but this vet has won many a championship. And there you go. There you see Alireza still sitting there stunned as he has lost to the legend.
Well, the G pawn did it for Garri. Let's see how it happened, Yaz, because we